In this session, we'll explore three aspects in Power BI. First, what does a semantic model mean in Power BI? Second, what are Power BI file types viz? PBIX, PBIT, PBIP, and how are they stored? Third, how does a developer choose between direct query versus import mode? So, what does semantic model mean? The word semantics refers to the meaning of words, phrases, sentences, or texts. In computer science, semantics can refer to the meaning or behavior of code, not just its structure, syntax. For example, the syntax if sales greater than $5,000 checks a condition. Sales is greater than $5,000. Also, what does model means? A model is a representation of how something works or relates. Example, how data relates to each other or how system works. Semantic. In our case, the data has a meaning to a person or organization. Product ID 102 means 102 is ID for Laptop Pro. Quantity 2 means quantity sold 2 unit. Total quantity sold, sum, FACT sales quantity, means sum of all the quantities for the product or all the products depending on the context of the conversation. As you can now connect the dot. Basically, Power BI semantic modeling is the process by which data is organized, defined, and enriched with business logic to create a user-friendly, analytical layer for reporting and visualization. Let's quickly walk through the process we followed to build our semantic model. We started by examining the data structure, pulling the schema directly from SQL Server to understand the underlying tables and fields. Next, we established the data model by defining relationships between entities and setting the appropriate cardinality, ensuring that the connections between tables accurately reflected the business logic. In the data pane, we created a dedicated table to group related measures, keeping things organized and easier to manage. We then define measures, assigning clear and meaningful names to the calculations that drive our analysis. For example, we created a measure called total quantity sold, which simply sums the quantity values from the FACT sales table. Through this, we've made it easier for report users to understand and work with the data without needing to know the underlying formula. Now that you've created the semantic model, you're ready to publish it so others can use it in their own reports. The semantic model should be published to a Power BI workspace, ideally a shared one, such as Workspace named Data Models Workspace, to make it easily accessible across your organization. Once published, other users will be able to connect to the model and build their own reports. Instead of connecting directly to SQL Server, they'll go to Get Data in Power BI and select the Publish Semantic Model. Users will be able to explore and use components directly and create report and dashboards like this. Great! You've created the semantic model. But what about the file itself, the one where all your work lives? It's important to save this file so you can return it later to edit, update, or republish the semantic model as needed. For now, you can choose PBIX format. There are three file types: PBIX, PBIT, and PBIP. This slide provides an overview of the different Power BI file types and when to use each one. Feel free to pause the video and take a moment to review the details. Now let us focus on direct query versus import model. Let's quickly revisit a few key points from earlier. Remember when we first connected to SQL Server? At that stage, we had the option to choose between import and direct query for our data connections. As we built data relationships, we also touched on the advanced properties, specifically the storage settings, where we could select direct query, import, or dual mode for each table. To recap, direct query mode means the data is not imported into Power BI. Instead, it's fetched in real time from the SQL Server whenever you interact with the report. On the other hand, with import mode, data is copied into Power BI's internal in-memory engine and can be refreshed manually or automatically, depending on your needs. This slide provides additional information on direct query versus import modes. Feel free to pause the video and take a moment to review the details. Note that dual mode isn't covered on this slide. It allows a table to behave as either direct query or import, depending on how it's used in the query, specifically based on its interaction with other tables in the model. Let us quickly revisit Power BI Semantic Model and Power BI Report. Power BI Semantic Model steps at high level are: you create Power BI Semantic Model. You can publish the model for others to use. You also save the semantic model file so you can modify it later. The file formats can be PBIX as in executable, PBIT as in template, PBIP as in project. You also know that you can save semantic model tables as direct query mode or import mode. Power BI Semantic Model and Power BI Report. You can publish the model for others to use. You also save the semantic model file so you can modify it later. The file formats can be PBIX, PBIT, PBIP. Power BI Report. You can continue to build report on this semantic model and save semantic model and report together. You can use semantic model published by others and create reports and save just the report. The file formats are still the same: PBIX, PBIT, PBIP. Let us summarize what we learned. We learned that semantic modeling refers to adding meaning and logic to data structures, allowing us to represent the underlying business context using familiar organizational terms and concepts. We learned that it's easy to switch from direct query mode to import mode, enabling flexibility when optimizing performance or enabling offline access for reports and semantic models. We learned that Power BI supports 3 main file types: DIPFix, DIPFit, and BIP, and that both semantic models and reports can be stored across all 3 formats, depending on the use case. Now we will learn that reports built in import mode can be manually saved as snapshots, preserving a point-in-time view of both the data and report layout. By now, you've likely picked up on some of the key points. To save reports with data included, make sure you're using a semantic model where the underlying tables are in import mode. You can then manually save your report using Power BI Desktop and store it in the desired location using the .pix file format. This slide provides step-by-step instructions on how to save reports along with their data and a snapshot of the dataset. Feel free to pause the video and review the details at your own pace. You've just watched part 2 of the Power BI Introduction series, where we explored the Power BI Semantic Model, file types, query modes, and how to save reports with data. This session was presented by Chetan Desai, Enterprise Architect Data and AI. We appreciate your time and hope you found the session valuable. Do not miss part 3 of the Power BI Introduction series by Chetan Desai, Advanced Features and Visualizations. In this session, you'll explore some of Power BI's most powerful capabilities, including using the question and answer visual to uncover insights through natural language, building automated narratives that bring your dashboards to life, invoking AI or ML models within Power BI, unlocking the power of advanced analytics as a citizen data scientist, running Python code directly on Power BI datasets for deeper, custom analysis. This session is packed with advanced features designed to elevate your Power BI skills to the next level.